I didn't mean for him to hear it. God, I didn't. It was supposed to be a joke, a stupid, impulsive remark tossed into the air like a spark that caught fire before I could smother it. The music was loud. The laughter was louder. Our living room pulsed with the warmth of cheap wine, pizza boxes, and the careless comfort that comes when friends feel too at home. Josh sat across from me, his grin lazy, that same grin that used to make me feel alive before I learned how dangerous it could be. And beside him, on the couch, sat Ethan, my husband, leaning back, smiling, relaxed. It was supposed to be harmless fun. A game of never have I ever. Never have I ever kissed someone I wasn't supposed to, Josh said, his eyes glinting just enough for me to look away. The group howled. Glasses clinked. I laughed too loudly. I wanted to diffuse the tension. I wanted Ethan not to notice the flicker of something between us. So I opened my mouth and said the first thing that came to mind. Please. Josh probably knows my body better than I do. The laughter roared. But only for a second. Then silence. Because Ethan had stood up. At first, I thought he was just stretching, or maybe going to the kitchen. But the look in his eyes, flat, cold, disbelieving, told me he had heard every word. When everyone left, the silence in the house turned sharp enough to cut skin. Ethan was wiping down the counter, methodical, his back rigid. Ethan, I said softly, it was just a joke. He didn't turn around. The clink of a glass hitting the sink made me flinch. Yeah. His voice was calm. Too calm. Then tell me what's funny about it. I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. Because there was no way to explain the kind of joke that sits too close to the truth. His shoulders rose and fell, steady. Does he asked. Does he what? Know your body? The air thinned. My chest tightened. No, I said quickly. Of course not. But the silence after that word felt heavier than the lie itself. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every sound, the ticking clock, the creak of the floorboards, felt amplified, intrusive. Ethan lay beside me, turned away, his breathing shallow, too controlled to be sleep. I thought about Josh. About the nights we'd been alone when Ethan was working late. About the way things had escalated, slowly, quietly, like a secret that learned to breathe on its own. The first time, it hadn't even been planned. Just too much wine and too little distance. It was supposed to be meaningless. But it hadn't been meaningless. The guilt had faded over time, softened by routine, buried beneath Ethan's trust. Until tonight. Now, it clawed its way back up, raw and suffocating. The next morning, Ethan was gone before sunrise. He didn't leave a note. Didn't text. I tried to tell myself he just needed space. But by noon, Josh texted me. Josh, you need to fix this. He called me last night. My heart dropped. I met Josh at the cafe near his office. He looked pale, nervous, guilt written all over his face. He asked me straight up, Josh said quietly, if anything ever happened between us. What did you say? Josh stared at his coffee. I told him no. But he didn't believe me. My throat tightened. Then what happens now? He looked up, eyes full of something between regret and resignation. His not stupid, Mia. His putting it together. That night, Ethan came home late. His face was calm again, almost eerily so. He placed his keys on the counter, poured himself a drink, and leaned against the kitchen island. I talked to Josh, he said. My pulse raced. And? He said nothing happened. But you know what's funny? He took a slow sip. When someone lies, their eyes twitch at the corner. Just like yours did last night. I wanted to deny it. To reach out and beg him to believe me. But the truth sat heavy on my tongue, choking me. Ethan, I'm sorry, I whispered. His expression didn't change. For what? For everything. He exhaled, a sound that was half a laugh, half despair. You know, I thought Josh was my brother. I trusted him with everything. I trusted you with everything. Tears blurred my vision. It was a mistake. A stupid, meaningless. He cut me off with a look so sharp it froze me mid-sentence. Don't insult me by calling it meaningless, he said quietly. You let him touch you. You let him know things about you that were supposed to be mine. His voice broke then, just slightly, and that hurt more than the anger. Days passed in silence. We shared a house but not a life. He moved his things into the guest room. Every sound of him avoiding me was its own punishment. I tried to talk to him. He wouldn't answer. Then one evening, I came home to find the house almost empty. Half the drawers open, closet half cleared. Ethan. He was standing by the door, suitcase in hand. I can't stay here, he said. His tone was soft, not cruel. Every room reminds me of a lie. I reached for him, but he stepped back. You'll hate yourself for this, I said desperately. Walking away without fighting. He shook his head. No, Mia. I'm not walking away from you. I'm walking away from the version of you that made that joke and thought it was funny. Then he left. I stood there for hours, staring at the empty space where his shoes used to be, where his laughter used to echo through the walls. The silence was unbearable. I texted Josh, but he didn't reply. Later, I saw that his number was disconnected. Word got around. Friends stopped calling. The whispers spread, slow and poisonous. For weeks, I lived inside the echo of my own mistake. That single joke, a careless, nervous cover-up, had burned everything to the ground. Months later, Ethan sent me a letter. Short. Handwritten. Mia. I hope you find peace. I don't hate you. I just can't love you anymore without losing myself. Take care of yourself. I stared at the paper until the ink blurred with my tears. That night, I dreamt of the moment I said those words. The laughter. The silence. The look in his eyes. I used to think betrayal began with a lie. But sometimes, it starts with a joke. And ends with everything you ever loved walking out the door.